Good morning, cool cats. Welcome to First Chapter Friday. Today, I have a fun story for you. We are going to listen to the first chapter of Kenny and the Dragon. This book was written by Tony DiTerlizzi, and in this story, the main character, Kenny, he is a rabbit. He has a rabbit family, and he also has two best friends. One of his best friends is a dragon, and the other best friend is a knight. Now, these two are going to embark on a legendary battle. Let's listen to the first chapter, Kenny and the Dragon. Chapter 1, The Devil Scourge. Kenny's father burst into the kitchen, panting heavily. His ears twitched. It was supper time, and Kenny's mom was making her family's favorite, corn chowder. The soup's heavy aroma swirled about as the farmer moved through the room. Pack all your things. We're out of here. We're moving, Kenny's dad hollered. He was a scraggly, hairy fella wearing a wide brimmed hat, and he was trying to catch his breath as if he had been running. Moving? Not now, mister, Kenny's mom replied. The corn's not boiling yet, the broth isn't right, and I still have to sew the patches on Kenneth's trousers for school tomorrow. Kenny's dad paused, walked to the stove, dipped a finger in the pot, and agreed it still wasn't quite right. Get your dirty paws out of my chowder. Wash your hands, have some milk, and tell me what's got you so riled up. She ground a little pepper into her broth. Unlike Kenny's father, she was soft, round, huggable, and seemed to always be adorned in an apron with a spoon in hand. Kenny's dad did what he was told. He stroked his ears and started. This afternoon, my eyes saw something I wish they had never seen. I went to Shepherd Home, the flock up on top of Shepherd's Hill, where they had been a grazing all day. As soon as I got up there, I see the sheep all huddled and quiet on the far side of the hilltop. And I think to myself, what in the world has got them so spooked? So I wander over to the other side of the hill, where them rocks and boulders are. Here, taste this. Better? Yes, much better. So hold on, dear. Kenneth, get out here and set the table. The wooden floorboards creaked as Kenny shuffled into the kitchen, his head buried in a book. He was reading a story about a giant written by a man named Oscar. Without looking up, the small, skinny lad opened the cupboard and grabbed plates to place on the table. Not plates, bowls, Kenneth. I told you earlier we're having clam chowder tonight. Get your head out of the clouds. Put that book down for a minute and set the table properly. His mom snatched the book right out of his paws and set it on the corner. The wooden counter was dinged and scratched and stained from years of use. Pots and pans hung from the ceiling, right above where Kenny's mom was cooking. She reached over and opened one of the numerous round windows to allow the cool country air into the kitchen. Don't you want to hear the rest of my story? Kenny's dad whimpered through his milk mustache. Of course, dear, of course. What did you see in the rocks? His mom said as she tasted the soup. So there I am, climbing up on them big rocks and boulders, and all the while I'm thinking there must be a wolf or a lion or a bear hiding in there. Remember I said I heard those weird whooshing sounds coming from the hillside last week? Kenny folded the napkins and placed them around the banged up wooden table. I remember that, he said. I thought, hold on, son, hold on, his dad interrupted, waving his hands about. So I make some noises of my own to see if I can spook it off. And that's when I saw it. Kenny stopped setting the table and looked up. Saw what? The gears in the lad's brain began to turn. He realized his father's tale involved some sort of encounter with a carnivorous animal. Kenny figured he could determine just what his dad had seen based on the description. A lion was out of the question. They were far too east for lions. Wolves usually travel in packs and were rarely seen in these parts. But bears did prefer rocky outcroppings and caves. Well, first I smell something burning. Not wood, but something smoky like. Then I see a pair of glowing eyes. And then a head as big as this here table peers out from an opening in the side of the hill, and it's covered in horns and scales and fur like a crocagator. You mean alligator? Kenny corrected him, though he was wondering what sort of alligator had horns and fur. Exactly. But have you ever seen a blue alligator with a neck like a turkey and a body like one of them giant lizardy things in your books? You mean dinosaurs, Dad? Those really did exist, you know. Scientists have even found their bones in old. No, son, this wasn't one of them Brontosaurus rexes. His father looked him in the eyes. It was like one of them flying things that eats pretty maidens and burns castles to the ground. Kenny paused for a moment. It can't be, he said to himself. It couldn't be. He put the last of the silverware in its place on the table. His father just sat there staring at him with his big eyes, glancing over at his mother. Kenny noticed she had stopped cooking and was looking at them quietly, holding the ladle. He turned back to his father. Dad, are you talking about a dragon? Yes, son, I'm talking about one of them dragons. He started pacing around the kitchen, waving his arms wildly. It takes up residence on the side of Shepherd's Hill, and we gotta sell the farm and move before that devil, that scourge, comes down and burns everything right to the ground. That's the end of chapter 1. So far, we have met Kenny and his family, and his dad thinks there is a dragon living on the side of Shepherd's Hill. So if you want to learn more or read more about this story, you can check it out in the library, Kenny and the Dragon. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. See you next week, cool cats.